and wealth. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Politics is a game of numbers and money. The reason Raila Odinga is the most revered leader in Nyanza is because of the numbers he commands, but second most important thing is because of the wealth he has. The reason William Ruto is the leader of Rift Valley is because the first thing Ruto did to get to that position is amass wealth. You know, he was in real estate and all that. The reason Kenyatta was here was because of wealth. Okay? Because wealth allows you to marshal people. Why is Rigathi so important? It is because when you look at all the other leaders in Mount Kenya, it is only his wealth that can be used as a weapon against Ruto. He has the money to go around Mount Kenya perpetually. Okay? That is one reason Ruto picked him as the VP, by the way. Don't let people tell you that it was because he was old. No, it was because out of all the candidates, he was the wealthiest. So he had contributed the most to UDA. The person today we voted as the CS of the internal security, Kindiki, was the most favored candidate. But Rigathi outdid him in terms of wealth and public service experience. Okay, but I don't think the experience here matters. So, viongozi hawatoshani, mfuko ndio watofautishana. Hapo pia sitaki tudanganyane. Let's just have an honest conversation.
Yeah, that's why I'm having like what I'm saying. You don't even understand me. Unaona politics is number one. Tribalism comes first, and interest come first before even we talk about like we want good governance or good leadership. Unaona. Now the issue is Ruto wins no matter what in this particular case. Unaona. Because if you remove Gachagua, he just appoints someone from Mount Kenya.
No, and Mount Kenya when you remove Gachagua, you've removed not only a deputy leader, but now Ruto has a problem of a person who has the financial muscle to take him on.
No, what is the even Uhuru Kenyatta has money, but what is the interest of Mount Kenya people?
No, Uhuru is not in these matrix. And let me give you some mathematics you guys don't have.
Can I just say one minute?
No, let me have this with Moses.
That money. The issue
Thomas, this is not a market. Moses.
Like you see, the issue here.
Moses, let me educate. Let me educate you something about Mount Kenya politics.
1 minute. There's no way.
Before I give you the minute, just hear me out on this one point. Do you know the reason Rigathi has been looking for Uhuru? As you say, Uhuru has money. It's because he needs that pocket. Now go on with your 1 minute.
Now, my issue is this. You see, Mount Kenya's people, we know how they make their decisions. And we know, like Mount Kenya's people, there's no point in time in any election that they have made a good decision. So they are not people like we can depend on as maybe other tribes that we can depend for them to make any good decision in electing a good person. Like if Mount Kenya people were people who have a track record of electing a good person, now we can say like, oh, if you remove Gachagua, they will go and champion us. Maybe someone.
Mount Kenya iliwapea Kibaki jo. Free education. Hata usituchome hivyo.
Alikuwa better, but he was not like that. He was good.
Moses. Anthony, kidogo tu, mimi hata sitachukua dakika moja. Anthony, I want to tell you something. Ruto what he is doing currently, na hiyo ni ngumu sana kwa Moses haiku understand, even Western. What is happening right now, Ruto has gone back and he will soon introduce that narrative ya 47 against 1. You have said something very important, Tony. When William Ruto alitaka mtu yote mwenye anatoka Mount Kenya atamsaidia kufika the presidency, he knew very well even threshold ya character, ya integrity, Gachagua hawezi fika. He was just a crook like himself. But because Gachagua had deep pockets, umenielewa? Akaruka, akachukua Gachagua, but alijua William Ruto knew very well that he will at some point in his presidency impeach or do away with Gachagua. And that's why he assured Gachagua the 200 million yenye Uhuru whose mic is on. Ile 200 million yenye Uhuru alikuwa amefreeze, alikuwa amemwashua once they are in power atamwachilia. Sasa look at this scenario, Anthony. Tunaenda tunapata uongozi. Today when Rigiji was very happy wakona power na amekuwa allowed ame-access pesa yake na ameunda a lot. Today he is being accused of stealing more than 5.2 billion ame-accumulate. Remember aliachiliwa akatumia zile 200 milioni 2 na aka-access. Now, what I'm trying simply to say, and this is my point, mimi siwezi, I will not advocate whether we have devils in Mount Kenya, whether we know we have bad leaders, we know we made mistakes, but let us not allow William Ruto to use one of us to fight the other. We know we will take care of our own house. Na hiyo si tribalism. Whoever mwenye ataivu kama tribalism ni shaya. Lawyers can do the same. I don't know. They have been doing the same. In fact, lawyers have tried to put their house in order. History proves it has been impossible. So what William Ruto is doing, he said that before. Na nilikuwa nataka nani asikia hapa Gachoka before he went. William problem has been Kikuyus all along. That one he said. And at some point he said, I will get power first and then I will deal with Kikuyus later. And that is what he has been doing. So to the house of Mumbi, remember, these are words he uttered. Akiwa kama si rais. What he is simply using, even Kithure being promised that he atakuwa deputy. When he's done with Kithure, when he's done splitting the mountain, against Embus, Merus, the Nyeris, the Embus, and the Kiambus, because that is what he wants. He does not want that region to be one. And he will do it in Luya land. He will separate the Maragolis with the other Luyas from Bungoma. Unaona, his region.
We Rasji, umesema umalizi dakika moja.
Sasa nasema okay, as I land, mbona kwake, it's not like there are no leaders in Rift Valley wenye hawa mtambui ama wamechoka na Ruto. There are plenty. They are many. The only thing yenye prove it, history has proven Ruto intimidates and hakikisha those leaders never do anything to oppose him. The silence unasikia in Rift Valley hata kama wanaumizwa. It is not simply because any other thing. It is because he has employed his agents. Leaders, hakuna mtu mwenye anaweza crop up in Rift Valley saa hii akajaribu hata kumuoppose. The only person yenye ufanye hivyo tu na yake it doesn't come.
I know you.
Thank you.
Can talk a whole. But you've said something very important. I want to give you guys an example of Rift Valley. In Rift Valley, we had an MP called Mishra Kiprop of Keses. Mishra Kiprop had done such a wonderful job in Keses. He had built more schools than any other MP. He had a very functional education system, very well done roads. In fact, it is the only constituency where the Oscar Sudi-led team pleaded with the president to come and campaign. They pleaded with him. They told him, Bwana Nini kuja Keses. Why? Because Mishra was going to win. And I'm going to look for that clip tomorrow. When William Ruto landed in Keses, he spoke in Kalenjin and he told them, as per our calculation, we are winning the entire of Rift Valley. Wacha Keses. That was his exact words. And he told them, kindly, your Nandis do not shame me. I need to win Keses from MCA to MP. And that is how Mishra Kiprop was defeated. He's an Indian. That is how he was defeated. And that started the fall of his empire, Medihill. But as we bring this space to a close, I want to give you guys your closing submissions. So I will start with Thomas, then I go to Tim, then I go to Daniel, then I go to Moses, then Gloria, then Western, in that order.
Thank you so much for your time. So what I wanted to say before I just forget about this is let us believe in one thing, that Ruto is a politician and he has the political mind behind him. It's not that the mountain, this one I'm telling Moses, we don't have a problem with even William Ruto, Gachagua and the mountain, the way he's putting it. The biggest problem we have is how the country is being governed, the administration. It's not even the Nyanza people, the Rift Valley people, or the mountains. It's the people who have the mandate to govern this country. And that is William Samoei Ruto, Gachagua, and their cronies. So let us just pray that we get the right people. And one thing I want to make Moses know, and all of us here, that what is in play right now, that when we drop Gachagua, is definitely somebody from the mountain who is going to take the deputy. William Samoei Ruto is not mad, as much as you know that he will not get the same support he garnered from Central the way he did in the last election. He will not drop Gachagua and pick somebody from Nyanza or pick somebody from Rift Valley or from Western. So my prayer is, let us remain focused to what we have ahead of us. Is not, we don't have war with individuals per se, but how these individuals are governing this country. Because trust me, when Ruto can make an overhaul turnabout and start doing the right things, he will be a darling to everybody, which he can't. He's always proved that he can't. He will always lie and lie and lie and promise and promise and promise. So my clarion call this night is that kindly, let us remain focused. Let us pray that we start knocking them down one after the other. Riggy just presented himself with an opportunity to be the softer punching box in this place. So let's start with this, and we pray that they fall one after the other. If by any chance he brings a deputy who may not be falling on his trap each and every time, tutashukuru Mungu na tuone tu venye tunageuza huko juu. So let's pray that we start knocking them down one after the other. If they are knocking themselves down, let's pray they start killing themselves one after the other until we are done with this regime. Thank you.
Pray and they kill each other. Daniel.
I wanted to weigh in on the DP impeachment. Okay, number one, I think all Ruto is doing is trying to marshal his forces, because he wanted, I think, in my own opinion, I think he thought Gachagua would be an obedient pet that is there to sing his praises, a Kamotho-like guy. I think that's what he thought, because I think in his mind, Ruto either wants to be Moi or outdo Moi in all ways. Everything I see the guy doing, he wants to be like that guy or outdo that guy. So he wanted only pets around him. That's why he has Karen Nyamu in defense. Like, what the actual fuck? But yeah, but that makes sense, because he doesn't want people. He only wants figureheads. Like, he wants someone to just be there for presence, but when a decision needs to be made, he's the one making it. That's why you have issues of the other lady as a CS for defense. Like, it doesn't matter who is in the position. But now regarding Gachagua, I think he had grown a bit too independent-minded, and he turned out not to be the pet he thought he was. So personally, I think Ruto found out that Rigathi is not the pet he thought he was, and he became a bit either too demanding or a bit too independent-minded, or he realized I have way more power than I thought I did. Maybe he didn't know when he was coming in that I have a lot of support and I can actually move things, because he was moving, he was under the shadow of Ruto, but after moving around, he realized, wait, I can cast my own shadow. So Ruto notices that, and now he's like, I don't like how this guy is going. So personally, that's what I think Ruto is doing. And number two, Ruto is trying to create either division or a new leader. And he doesn't know which one is going to come up, but he knows one of them will succeed. So he doesn't really care which one. Either divide them or you get a new leader. He really doesn't care. He just wants it to happen. But one of those will come out no matter what he does. You're either going to have a new leader who he can now he can now play chess. He's just moving chess moves. If nobody moves the chess pieces, the game remains the same. So I think Ruto is just moving a chess piece so that he can see what happens. Because the good thing about the chess that Ruto is playing is that they're infinite moves. So he always knows I will always have another move. So he's just moving the chess pieces. Even if he's not sure what's going to happen, he's going to move the game forward. Because when it comes to Mount Kenya, Ruto is playing chess. And even if he makes a wrong move, he knows I can compensate for it because I still have my own pieces. I have the MPs that I can pay, Akina Ishongo and all the others. I still have chess pieces with me. So even if I destabilize the game by moving a chess piece in a way that I might lose, I still have enough chess pieces to play. As in, this is not exactly strategy. He's just moving the chess piece to keep playing. I'm done.
Thank you, Daniel. I love your submission, Daniel. It's wonderful. You've actually scrutinized Ruto to a T. Gloria.
Okay. I would like to say that to ask us in future, let us give a listening ear to everyone. Your interruption as somebody else is talking, or we don't like what they are saying, or it's not a good thing to interrupt people's thoughts. Let them finish, and then we get somebody to respond after the person has finished making their submissions. Having said that, Gachagua is a deputy president, meaning his impeachment does not concern only Mount Kenya or whatever happens, how he behaves, it concerns all of us. He's not an MP for a constituency or an MCA of a certain, small area. He is a deputy president, so it concerns all of us. Let us not look at it just as a Mount Kenya issue. And therefore, the rest of us also have a right to comment on it, and we shouldn't be looked at as tribalists. And the issue of what Western was saying, and the people who are against him ended up saying just what he was saying. But because we are not listening, we imagine because someone is giving a contrary point, we are quick to judge. He was simply saying that, and I'm repeating it, that if we go the tribal cocoon way, we'll end up with the 2007, where it is the other tribes against one. And that is not the Kenya we want. We want to move away from these tribal cocoons. We want to walk as one. And I think when the revolution started, when people, the Kenya we want, it's a Kenya people are imagining where everyone is equal, everybody matters, and good governance, health, education, all those sectors are working. Because at the end of the day, much as we want to be in cocoons, if health sector is not working, it's not working for all of us. All of us are suffering. If the education sector is not working, now we have, the new funding model, we have all those problems that we have. If it's not working for all of us. Right now, if you go to hospitals, if you've seen the news and whatever, public hospitals, one bed in a maternity ward, 5 mothers who have just given birth. They should be resting. But all they can use a bed for is to lay their babies. We are talking about people who have given birth. You don't know whether it's through CS. Everything is pathetic. So let us just have that mind that if things are going wrong, it's going wrong for all of us. No one can benefit. And even when we say, Raila, those personalities, Amaluo, yes, but Raila being in that broad-based government, how does that help me as Gloria where I am, as Mlalahoi? How does that help me? The position of Gachagua, how does that help you, Rasji, or how does that help somebody else? The Kikuyu. Yeah, the ordinary Kikuyu is suffering just the way I'm suffering. So if we go the tribal cocoons, Ruto is going to use that. We will be campaigning for him without knowing that we are campaigning for him. He's going to use that and go back in power, something which we don't want to happen. So our enemy is one. The political elites don't know any other game. They'll always go with that tribal thing because it has worked for them. Then we have to go higher. We have to have a different style in order for us to reign. I stop there.
Gloria. I want that different style you're talking about. But I want you to hold that on because Wednesday we host a space called Point Blank. And I want you to, between now and Wednesday, to come up with that formula. Promise me you'll do that, Gloria.
I will be available on Wednesday.
Yeah, we open a space Point Blank 8 to 10. Weston is a frequent guy there. So as I give Weston the mic, but because I know Weston is a person of philosophy, let me bring in Moses. Then we say goodnight with Weston. Moses.
Okay. Let me give my closing remarks. But now, let me first, before I give my closing remarks, I want to respond to something that Gloria said.
Moses, tuambiane good night tonight.
Relax. Like, it's something which nimesikia watu wakisema sana. Like, if someone who is in a leadership position, like, there's no way it helps common man. It helps. The reason why people fight so hard for this position and even put their kingpin there is because there are certain benefits that even trickle down to even the common people there. The way it trickle down, we can debate about that. Now, my closing statement now is, in this particular war, my position is, no one is going to benefit whether Gachagua is impeached or not, because Ruto is still the president. Number two, if we decide to remove both Ruto and Gachagua, how are we sure, like, Kenyans will not make the same mistake and elect still the bad people that we don't want? Yeah, so that is my main concern. Like, have Kenyans organized themselves in a way that even if we remove both Ruto and Gachagua, is there an organization which will give us leadership which will be beneficial to each and every Kenyan, and every Kenyan will feel included, or will still go back and make the same mistake and still elect similar or even worse people? Thank you.
Wonderful, Moses. Now, in the running to the coming election, there is Okiya Omtata and Kasamuel, Morara Kebaso, and Kalonzo Musyoka and Eugene Wamalwa. Those are the people who have come out so far. But Weston, what say you, my brother?
Anthony, thanks. You did disrupt me, but it's fine. It gave me a chance to listen to other submissions. Anthony,
you know, Weston, I do that because I know you can.
Weston,
I interrupt you because I know you can take it. You know, you're a gentleman.
Oh, okay. Oh, great. Thank you. Tonny came and then he's left. What I wanted to tell Tonny is that he is entitled to his opinions, not his facts. The same thing applies to your listener called Modern. He's written something in the comments. Look, Anthony.
Yes, my brother.
History is important. Tonny, one, he didn't concede. He said to anybody who cares to listen that he's worked very closely with Raila Odinga. And they have now fallen out, such that when he speaks, clearly there's no love lost between the two of them. But one thing he didn't concede is that Raila Odinga has won elections in the past, and that victory has been stolen from him. That's part of our history, painful as it is. In fact, that's one of the reasons why we have never gotten elections right subsequently.
much as before things were not better. But the electoral contest that we have had in the recent past can be directly linked to the 2007 electoral fraud. So that's mendacity on the part of Tonny. Tonny says that Kibaki defeated Raila Odinga in 1997. Kibaki was a cripple and stuff like that. No. Kibaki was running against Moi. It's just when Raila was introducing himself as far as presidential elections are concerned. He deliberately does not mention the 2002 elections when Raila campaigned vigorously for Moi Kibaki when he was wheelchair bound. So I'm disturbed the kind of history that Tonny is, purveying to, Kenyans who may not be aware of these things. And I think he's doing it from a self-serving perspective. Tonny, which brings me to this question. Tonny. Tonny,
Yes,
we're a country of Lilliputians. Lilliputians. And I'm drawing this word from Jonathan Swift's masterpiece, Gulliver's Travels. Gulliver is a giant, and in the course of traveling, gets into this fictional land where people are extremely short. And they're not just short in terms of physique, they're short in terms of the things that excite them. There are those who think they're better because they wear high-heeled shoes. There are those who think others are less human because they wear low-heeled shoes. There are those who think that they're better because they break eggs from the end, and those who think they're better because they break eggs in the middle. The book satirizes medieval Britain. We are that kind of a society. When we talk politics of Mount Kenya, this, what, we're like Lilliputians in this fictional society. We're diminished by primordial ethnic politics. And I'm cautioning everybody who's listening here that the deputy president cannot be talking about my people, and my people refers to his core ethnics. That kind of politics is genocidal. For those who know what genocide means, it's the kind of stuff ethnic cleansing is made of. So why would you then be called a deputy president of the Republic of Kenya if you can openly speak about a particular region, a particular ethnic group, and we think that politics is right? It's not right. The Gema thing that Tonny, you spoke about, the architects of this kind of politics, Kiika Kimani, Njenga Karume, Jomo Kenyatta, they are gone. But the rot they left is still here with us. We can't be advancing this politics. That's what I'm cautioning. So, to remove Ruto, who is a symbol of a decayed and rotten society, we must have an even-handed reading of our problems. But if we're reductive, and the way I'm saying it here, to reduce our problems to the person of William Ruto, that kind of reading is flawed, is not going to take us forward. When elections come, it's just going to use the same card and will not have a comeback, will not have an answer to that. So even, people from the Kikuyu, Meru, what ethnic groups, they must be careful not to recede in those ethnic cocoons, because their problems are not any special from the problems that people are facing anywhere in Kenya. So it makes no sense to recede into an ethnic cocoon to fight William Ruto. There's no sense, because there are problems about the economy, about education, about health that are touching on every other Kenyan, irrespective of the ethnic affiliation. And we can mobilize along those things. But if we mobilize along ethnic supremacy, ethnic bigotry, the kind of stuff I see Tonny purveying here, this fight is lost even before it begins. It's completely lost. And we will get surprised because we're not doing intellectual labor. Intellectual labor is work. It's arduous work, thinking. And especially when it comes to political strategy. And when people are already in power and have no desire to leave power, no matter what, you cannot afford to engage in intellectual laziness. And that's what I'm cautioning us. So Tonny engages in reverse psychology. When I call him out, this is a national forum. Why does he speak in vernacular? I don't get that. Why? That is the ethnic supremacy I'm talking about. that kind of politics is retrogressive in as much as it has been primitive as well as modern in Kenya. It's primitive in the sense that when things, get out of hand, it's machete politics. It's bloodbath. It's modern in the sense that it's what they used to distribute, modern, benefits, social mobility, jobs in the bureaucracy and whatever. They use ethnicity. So it's modern in that sense, that it can really change your fortunes. Those billionaires and millionaires, Anthony, you're talking about, that's not out of sheer hard work. That's out of manipulating the state by deft exploitation of ethnic sentiment. And we're saying we want that kind of a society behind us. So Riggy G must be impeached. He's a yesterday man. He's a man who is from this Jonathan Caliver's fictional society of Lilliputians. He's a yesterday man. He completely has no place in the society we're building going forward. And anybody who sympathizes with that kind of a person is completely caught up in a time warp. Completely. He doesn't understand the existential threats we face and how to get out of that. He's as such part of the problem. I wish Tony was here to listen to me. I'm telling him, he cannot come up with this on facts. He cannot come up with this on alternative universe. This Kenya here, we know the history of this country. We know some of the things that explain why we are where we are. And when we speak these things, it is completely unhelpful for me to read some of those things that, I'm wrong. What do you mean I'm wrong? Contest what I'm saying with facts. Let's do debate, but just not shouting me because you don't like what I'm saying. No? Let's engage. Let's not create another echo chamber like William Ruto's echo chamber or Raila Odinga's echo chamber. I'm seeing that creeping in where we celebrate people because of status, personalities, and these people are beyond reproach. That kind of politics is what has put us in this morass, where in the 2024, we still don't have a working health system. 2024, we don't have food security. 2024, people are still dying of diarrhea, cholera. What kind of a society is that? Yeah, Tanzanians say, jirani anaongea Kiswahili, but yuko kwa giza. Jirani anaongea kizungu mingi huko kwa giza. Jirani anaongea kizungu mingi lakini ana chakula. Jirani anaongea kizungu mingi lakini hata ana hospitali. Yes, they say that about us. We must stop this politics. Tony, I yield.
Thank you very much, Weston. As we call it a night, I want to tell you, everyone here, Friday will be a very interesting day in Kenya. Very interesting day in Kenya. I want everyone to listen in to what will be happening, because I believe we shall be at a front row seat to see how rotten our leadership is in this government. And if we can turn that trajectory and tell people, this is not what we deserve as a country, we deserve better. I agree with Western. We face some very rudimental problems. But that's a conversation we can continue on Wednesday. Now, I'll put a caveat out there. Now, since I am a Kikuyu and I want to call Kikuyus out, I'm actually waiting to confirm. I might open a Murima page, a Murima space, Saturday and Sunday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And why am I doing this? Because I believe Mount Kenya has, like someone said, and I agree, we've been part of the problem by putting our interest before the nation's interest. And we don't see it in foresight that when we help the wrong people to ascend to power, today our wives cannot access beds in hospitals because of the person we put in power. So those are the things I would want to articulate. And I want it to go down to that every person understands. So when you see me do that, do not say Tony is tribal. No, I'm just a Kenyan who's trying to educate people. So good night. See you on Wednesday on Point Blank. And in case you see a Murima page from me, you are welcome to tune in. As I tell people, we need to change how we vote, because we might be vote rich, but we cannot afford to put in stupid leaders. Thank you very much and have a lovely night. Good night.